Hi, my friends, and welcome back to the Christ-Centered Body Image podcast. We are on episode 3, and previously on the first and second episode, we discussed the journey that led to Christ-Centered Body Image, as well as the definition of body image, what having a Christ-centered body image is, and also some things that impact our body image. And today on this episode, I'm going to pose an interesting question when it comes to your body image. And I'm also going to help you to maybe understand yours a little bit more. So let me first make an assumption. For those of you who are here and listening, I would assume that you probably struggle with your body image and you want to improve it. If that's the case, then improving our body image is more than just knowing we struggle with it and needs to go further than that. So I would honestly say the first step is awareness, and then also gaining some information and knowledge about body image, which is what I'm aiming to provide here on this podcast and also in the course. But I also want to provide you with more of a framework for improving your body image. So as I was kind of on this journey to help others try and improve theirs, I kind of had this idea or this thought that what are the steps or what is the process? And I went through a course with my friend Sarah at Point One Vision, who has a full armor course. And in that course, she has this framework. And as I was researching and conceptualizing a way to help people, improve their body image struggles, her framework was one that I found helpful to try and use to build a framework to help people in their body image struggles. So there's different layers to it, if you will. So the first, layer or step of her framework that she uses is awareness. And the definition in her ebook is knowledge and understanding that something is happening or exists. So this fits nicely with body image because, as I mentioned, the first step in regards to our body image is awareness. It's the context of being aware that something exists. So you are being aware that you struggle with your body image or something is happening with your body image. So think about it this way. Say you are in a room and I come into the room. You perhaps are aware that I enter that same room as you. You are aware that I'm there, if you will. So that is honestly the first step, because if you're not aware that something is happening or something exists, then you can't really do anything about it. But in this aspect, we're simply just aware of something happening and existing. And also within that awareness, I think there might also be another little step, if you will, of acknowledging kind of awareness and acknowledgement that something is going on with our body image, that we have some sort of body image struggles or whatever it might be for you. And so if we are looking again at that picture of that scenario that I entered the room, maybe it's just you acknowledge hey, hi, I know that you're there. But maybe you go back to doing whatever you're doing. You don't really give me much of your energy or your attention. But then there could also be the other side of the coin that maybe you don't acknowledge me. Maybe you ignore me, what have you. And it could be honestly the same for body image stuff. Maybe we're kind of aware, but maybe we don't want to acknowledge it. We don't really want to look at it. So that could also be a possibility. So maybe wherever you're at with your body image and your body image journey, maybe actually acknowledging that something is going on is something that you might need to do. Maybe acknowledge that there's something happening, that there's some sort of struggle or something. And that's, I would say, a pretty good place to be in, because it really starts there. It starts with awareness and acknowledgement. And then from there, you can take this next step. So Sarah, in her framework, uses observation as the next step or layer. And her definition is the action or process of observing something in order to gain information, a judgment or inference based on something observed. So that I found this fits very nicely into body image, as we need to do more and go deeper than just being aware, acknowledging, and recognizing it exists. One of, I think, a really foundational piece of improving our body image is observing, gaining more information about our body image, to observe it, to notice it, to collect data about our body image and how we feel about, perceive, think about, believe things about our body. And let's go back to that example of if I came into the room and to observe me, you would actually like give put your eyes, I guess, on me, and you would start to maybe notice what I look like, maybe the colors of my hair, my skin, my eyes, maybe notice my mannerisms, notice how I move, notice what I do with my body or whatever it might be. But you're observing, you're collecting data, gathering information about me. And that's what I would want you to do with your body image. And so this is one of the, I would say, the first crucial steps. It's not just awareness. It's also observing and being really, I guess I would say, intentional about your observation. So this is where I'm going to take you a little bit deeper into observation to really observe what your body image looks like. I always, when I work with my clients for nutrition coaching, I always tell them, paint me a picture, paint me a big picture, everything you have going on in your life, all of your habits, all of your behaviors in, sleep, in fitness, in nutrition, your entire life. Like I want to get a big picture, because if I can get a big picture, then I can see the areas where are your strengths, but then I can also see the areas maybe where you're lacking and that are kind of gaps that we need to work on and improve. And the same could be done with your body image. I really want you to observe as much as you can about how you think, the thoughts that you have, for example, about your body. Start to notice and observe the specific thoughts that you have towards your body. Maybe it's your body as a whole, or maybe it's specific parts of your body. Start to notice your behaviors towards your body, maybe how you treat your body physically. Maybe it's with fitness, with nutrition, or other things. Start to notice how you feel about your body, kind of try to actually identify some feeling words toward your body, or how you think about or perceive your body. Start to notice other behaviors maybe that you might gauge in regards to your body, like honestly, maybe how much you weigh yourself, how much you observe yourself in the mirror. What are your typical thoughts and attitudes towards your body? So start to observe and be aware of all of the things that might go into your body image, all of the things that might be impacting your body image, and collect as much data as possible in regards to you and your environment, and just even thinking of it in terms of like, let's even say like an MRI of your body image, or maybe an X-ray of your body image, or you can even say like for like the topography of your body image, whatever visual you want to use, where you're actually being able to see and get a picture of like what's kind of like going on in multiple ways, like that are influencing your body image. Collect as much data as possible, because when we collect as much data as possible, we can really start to gain just so much information, and we can start to recognize things, and we might even have aha moments without even necessarily needing tools yet, because we recognize like, oh my gosh, like I didn't realize how often I had this thought or this behavior with or towards my body, and it can just really open up so much information and awareness to kind of what you have going on with you. So that's observation. And now the next step, if you will, or the next the next level in this framework is attention. So after we've observed and collected all of this information about our feelings, thoughts, perceptions, or beliefs of our body, we have a decision to make. And so that is, do we want to give this attention? So the definition that she uses is a condition of readiness, a selective narrowing or focusing of consciousness and receptivity. So you have all this information. Are you ready? Are you willing to give your body image, or whatever you have going on with your thoughts, your perceptions, your feelings, your beliefs, and your behaviors towards your body? Are you ready to do that? Now, this is where the interesting question about your body image that I pose comes in. And that question is, do you want to get well? This question actually comes from scripture. It is in the story where Jesus goes to the pool of Bethsaida. And so this is John 5. I'm going to read you verses 5 through 8. John 5, verses 5 through 8. One man there had been an invalid for 38 years. When Jesus saw him lying there and realized that he had spent a long time in this condition, he asked him, "Do you want to get well?" "Sir," the invalid replied, "I have no one to help me into the pool when the water is stirred. While I'm on my way, someone else goes in before me." Then Jesus told him, "Get up, pick up your mat, and walk." Now, I've mentioned before that our body image and our body is a sensitive and complex topic. And I have so much compassion and empathy for those who struggle with their body and their body image, because I know how much pain it can cause, how much mental energy and emotional energy, and how much bondage it can put us in. So it can cause us a lot of turmoil. So I have, as I mentioned, so much compassion and empathy. But when it comes to healing, improving, changing, and overcoming our struggles with body image, we really do have to ask ourselves, do I want to be made well? And one of the reasons I do ask that is because we've probably been struggling with our body image for years. We've likely been operating in a certain belief system, thought pattern, and behaviors that are just literally ingrained in us. And that's the way we've been operating. So it can be really uncomfortable to let go of what's familiar, even though we acknowledge and know that it's an unhealthy, belief system or thought pattern or behavior or an unhealthy relationship with our body. And like I mentioned, our struggles with our body and our body image likely started a long time ago. So there's so many things that contribute to how we feel about, think about, and perceive our body. So there's possibly lots of work that we have to do. There's possibly lots of difficult things we have to face. There's possibly some painful things that we have to face. There's possibly some things that we have to let go of that we know are unhealthy, and not beneficial for us, but that in order to get better, we're going to have to let go of these things. And so it's honestly a really important thing to consider. Do you want to be made well? And are you ready and willing to give your attention to your body image, to your relationship with your body, and to whatever things that you realize? And even then going forward, whatever things that God reveals to you that he wants you to work on, or that has been an issue for you. And I will say that I wasn't ready for a while. I was struggling with my relationship with food, and honestly really fixated on my body, how it looked, and my fitness, and my food was all in an effort to keep my body as small as possible. And it wasn't until the pain and the discomfort of my behaviors with food got so bad that I was ready for a change. And it's okay. Change is hard, and that's okay. And you've probably heard the quote before, people aren't ready until they're ready. So these are just honestly some important questions to consider. And anyway, this is just kind of a framework that I think can apply to improving our body image. I will say again, I don't have all the answers. This is just my humble approach to bring God's word to body image struggles, but then also my aim of just really trying to help people who struggle with it, because I think a lot of people struggle with it and want to have more conversations about this. And so this is a framework, again, that I think is helpful. So to go over that briefly, it's starting with awareness, then into observation, then into attention. And so we went deep into observation, getting really curious and collecting as much data and information as possible about all of the things that are going on with us in regards to our body and our body image. But then asking ourselves the question, do you want to get well? And are we ready, willing to give it attention and to go on this journey of, doing the work of improving it? So again, some food for thought and some questions to consider. And I hope this information was helpful and it gave you some insight. And I'm so excited that you are here. Thank you for being here. And I will see you on the next episode.